Hey guys, Chrono here. So at some point today, somebody asked whether or not Warmerise would ever consider introducing controller support. The answer to that is it already has controller support, but it's kind of in a stupid way. Before we get into this, doing Warmerise with a controller is bad. I'm going to show gameplay, but you should know in advance that it's not fun, it's not competitive, it's just kind of awful. So, with that out of the way, what we're going to do is we're going to take an Xbox One controller, we're going to map its buttons to keys on the keyboard and mouse with Steam. Steam is a store where you can purchase games, but you don't need to purchase games to use it. If you don't have Steam installed, go ahead and grab it, and then make an account and sign in, and then head over to Steam. So this is my profile. We are going to go to Steam, and then Settings, go to the Controller tab, click General Controller Settings. So in here, if it's not checked already, use Xbox controllers configuration support, or whatever controller you want. You can use pretty much any controller with Steam. Like I have a PS4 controller, I have a PS3 controller, I have a Switch controller, and I have an Xbox controller. I also have a Steam controller. Every single one of those works with Steam, no problem. I can do this with any controller I own with no particular issue. Today we're going to do an Xbox configuration, an Xbox controller, so that's ticked. You can see I'm actually navigating the menu with the controller right now. You can hear me click buttons. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go to desktop configuration. So this is not what it's going to be by default. I'm going to export this actually before we do this. Save a new personal binding. I'm going to name it Warmerise. Warmerise for Xbox One. Okay. Cool. Alright, so by default, it is going to look like this. So, it's got a bunch of handy features if you're just like web browsing, but it isn't really set up for a first-person shooter. You can see it's set to use the arrow keys on both the left stick and the D-pad. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to templates, and then we're going to select keyboard and mouse. So this is going to be a pretty basic solution for all of your FPS games. It's designed to work with like Valve's games, I guess. It's pretty generic, but it works for most games. It's going to require a bit of customization, which is what I've done. So if I go to my personal bindings and I select Warmerise, you can see that it's mostly the same. I still have movement on this stick, I aim with this stick, but I've changed a couple of the buttons around just to make it a little easier to Warmerise. Like I changed crouch to left stick click. I've also changed if you're a little bit more advanced, if you want the thumbstick to behave a little bit differently with your aiming, what you can do is you can go into here, go to additional settings, and then set stick response curve, set that to custom, and then you can edit how aggressively your stick moves. I prefer to have it somewhere in this range. Yeah, you can edit the dead zone if your controller is drifting. Dead zone outer, increase that a little bit, control a little more. Okay, so that's pretty much set up the way that I want it to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that open, but we're going to alt tab back over to Warmerise. So you can see that I'm moving the thumbstick right now. You can see that I'm moving in basically perfect circles, and then it's kind of weird. Using a interface designed for a mouse with a joystick is hard, and it takes some getting used to. You've got to move really, really slowly. That's why I put the dead zone down. You've got to move really slowly to get it to where you want it to be. Like, that was me barely touching the stick. So we're going to join the server. We're going to fail a little bit. Who should we join? Let's join Blue. Actually, let's select our weapons first. So last game, I've done this like 3 or 4 times because I keep watching the recording. Let's do an RPG. Last time we used the Mini-G. We're going to do that again. We're also going to use M67s because the M67s are so broken that it is actually like viable in a controller setting. So you can see we're moving around. It's all good. We can switch weapons and we can aim and fire. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Even if I had known that enemy, we could have turned around fast enough. About it. Come on. This guy's right there then. Nope. Ooh, I hit him. Well, you know what? At least I got him. That's all that matters. Did we kill each other? We killed each other. Yes, fair enough. That seems to be happening since this update. I'm not sure if Max changed anything, but I seem to be, like, mutually trading kills with people. I'm not sure if that's changed. My mini-G, don't touch it. Stand up, idiot. Thank you, teammate. Wait, he killed himself? How? Okay. Nice. He's got the gravity. So yeah, this is gameplay with the controller. If you think that this gameplay is worse than your gameplay, I highly recommend you don't use a controller. Not to toot my own horn, I'm kind of pretty good at Warmerise. I'm not that bad. I'm definitely not this bad. I'm just still behind this guy. Wow, fire from Warmerise. That was actually stupid. But you can see that it's just really hard to like do anything worthwhile because it's just so hard to aim. I'm shooting the walls. Look, this guy is gonna get away from me. It's just really, really bad, and you don't want to do it. But technically, he's there if you decide. Come on. If you decide to every kill feels like a victory just because I feel so handy. Controllers are not designed for first-person shooters. They just kind of suck. And there's no software built into like correct your aim because and if that were put into Warmerise, you bet your ass I would have used it maliciously. Got him. Didn't die though. That time he did. I don't know who's shooting. Oh. Oh yeah, grenades. I have those. I tried to crouch, and it didn't. Probably the Asian guy, what's his name? Quang Min or whatever. Oh, I was hoping there was something up there. That's one of my favorite trick shots. You bounce it right off of that pillar, you can get the grenade. I hit somebody! Heck yeah! Nice! Yeah, you can do that, but like literally. Get him. This community is great. Okay, that's Warmerise with the controller. I'm so annoyed. Ah, it's awful. What am I at right now? I'm positive. I'm 11-7, but my team is kind of carrying me. Ooh, there's a person up there. Oh, he's dead. Who dead? Ooh. I keep forgetting I have the B button. It's so hard to aim the heat. Yeah, I'm gonna stop recording. I might go kill that player 9 minutes to teach him a lesson. Thank you guys very much for watching. Never play with a controller. Actually,